Big wins for the men and women yesterday, and another Big Ten honor for Draymond Green. We'll delve into all of that. And man, are the Detroit Tigers getting younger this year. 2 new fielders in Lakeland today, and we'll come back to you to utter the 7 greatest words in the English language on day 1 for the Tigers in Lakeland. We stick with Spartan basketball for our 6 sports play of the week. We do this each and every Monday at 6. Brought to you as always by our friends at Champion Chrysler Jeep Dodge. And we go back to the men's game for this one. Second half yesterday against Purdue, the Spartans on the break and about to seal the deal on this victory, and freshman Brandon Dawson went NBA-style tomahawk jam. Wow, that is impressive. Reminded me of the days Jason Richardson used to throw them down here at MSU and still does in the NBA. That's a big-time windmill dunk. Our 6 sports play of the week. And Tom Izzo, well, he noticed it too.
I gotta admit, I thought he was just gonna lay it up.
Today is the day, my friends, I get to utter the 7 greatest words in the English language. Pitchers and catchers report to spring training. And so it was for the Detroit Tigers today in Lakeland, Florida. But a lot of the regulars have sifted in too, including the newest Tiger, the $214 million man himself, Prince Fielder, who had one of his sons there limbering up on the field in Lakeland too.
I figured I'd come out here and work out a little bit and get things started.
I sure do. A Prince by the name of Fielder, and he will be a fielder for the Tigers, not just a designated hitter. He was introduced today, and you'll hear from the $214 million man, and it won't cost you a dime. Up next in sports. Big night for Tom Izzo last night. Victory number 400 puts him in a special class. And he may have said it doesn't mean much, but from his emotion after the game, you could easily tell it did mean something to the 17-year Spartan bench boss. And it was Izzo on his bench moments before tip-off, contemplating what turned out to be a memorable evening for him. Moments later, he moved to the opponent's bench to share some pregame time with one of his favorites, Minnesota coach Tubby Smith. But Tubby stopped smiling when the game started. Austin Thornton clears a pass to wide-open Derek Nix, who throws down a first-half slam that helped propel MSU to a double-digit lead. Izzo, known for wizardry drawing up inbounds plays, here's one at the end of the half to Draymond Green at the buzzer. It's money, and the Spartans led by 10 at the half. Spartans won at 68-52 for career win number 400 for Izzo, who was clearly touched by the emotion of the moment and reflected on the night afterward.
They asked me on TV what went through your mind.
A few moments after those Izzo comments, his players interrupted his press conference to file in from the locker room and present their coach with a commemorative basketball marking his 400th win. All, of course, here at MSU. Folks at Penn State and all over still mourning the death of legendary former football coach Joe Paterno, who passed yesterday morning at the age of 85. MSU basketball coach Tom Izzo paid tribute to Joe Pa today, as did former MSU football coach George Perlis, who was a close personal friend. And we asked George how yesterday's news hit him.
Like a ton of bricks.
The family said today Paterno will be buried Wednesday with 3 days of public memorials planned before his burial. From that, we transition into our 6 sports play of the week. We go to the 4th quarter of the Giants-49ers game. Kyle Williams with a crucial blunder on a 4th quarter punt off his knee and a mad scramble. And look who picks it up for the Giants, former Spartan wide receiver Devin Thomas, who should have been awarded a touchdown for this, but the whistle blew the play dead. It led to the go-ahead TD for New York. Then in overtime, it's Kyle Williams again on a punt return, the fumble, and guess who pops on top of this for the Giants? Devin Thomas again, to set up the game-winning field goal. You see on the replay another former Spartan, Greg Jones, on the field chasing down the return man, but Devin Thomas, 2 big special teams plays that helped put the Giants in the Super Bowl. Our 6 sports play of the week. New York to face New England in 2 weeks. The Giants were welcomed home early this morning in East Rutherford, New Jersey, after their 20-17 victory last night that put them in the Super Bowl for the 2nd time in 5 years. Fans showed up, of course, to welcome their heroes home. Players were tired and in a hurry to get home. The Super Bowl is in Indianapolis 2 weeks from yesterday. Let the hype begin. MSU women home tonight against Illinois. Hope it's nothing like what happened in the Ohio Central Michigan women's game last night. CMU's Jasmine Bracey and Ohio's Portia Harris start throwing punches. The bench is clear as we've got a full-fledged fight on the floor. Bracey and Harris both ejected from the game. I'm guessing some serious suspensions will be coming out of this one. The Chippewas won the game, but nobody wins in a fight like that. The Spartans host Minnesota on Wednesday night, and Tom Izzo today readdressed the flap over the weekend when an Izzo student member yelled to Purdue's oft-injured star Robbie Hummel, "I hope you tear your ACL," within earshot of Purdue coach Matt Painter. And Painter made an issue of it after the game in his press conference. Izzo today said it ruined his night and affected his joy over the victory. He has spoken with Matt Painter and hasn't identified the Izzo member who made the comment, but if he did, boy, would he like to talk to him.
Would I love to see that kid?
Draymond Green today named Big Ten Player of the Week for the second week in a row and the fourth time this season. Green was terrific again yesterday in the win over the Boilermakers, and yes, he's a big part of whether this team succeeds or not, but his coach today said some people take that analogy just a little too far.
Well, you know, I hear people talking about, well, if Draymond Green wasn't there.
MSU's women had an equally successful and impressive win over Purdue yesterday. Just took them a little longer to do it. Their game at Breslin went to overtime and the Spartans dominated the OT. Former East Lansing star Clarissa Bell with a huge 3 in the extra period. The Spartans outscored the 17th ranked Boilermakers 18-3. 67-52 the final. Just 2 games left now before the Big Ten tourney.